Hey, fellow campers. Hey, how's it going? Welcome again, once again, to Gmax Camp. We're camping out here with Gmax and going to show you how to do a little bit of stuff in Gmax. But this pole you see right beside me here, it's a Paz pole. Isn't that pretty with the red and white stripes and all that? And then you see the yellow ropes, But we're having a beautiful morning here at Camp Gmax. Sun's coming up. But yeah, we Paz camp on weekends. That's why we've got our Paz set up, trees and a tent. And come right on over here. Follow me over here. Don't let me run over you. You see that right behind me there? That little ice chest with the lid closed. Watch it open up when I back up here. Isn't that cool? Max Smoke made that. Now you could build neat items like that. You could. All you have to do is learn, and you're never too old. Never too old to learn. What causes that to happen is the LODs. You have a LOD 0, a LOD 1, and a LOD 2. Now LOD 0 makes this lid pop up. And then when you get down to LOD 1, you get far enough away from it, say 8 meters or so, it closes. So it looks like about 10 meters actually, but anyway, that's what happens out here. And I cooked up chili for the whole crew today. I hope you're hungry, because right after the class today, we're gonna have this chili. I've made a few items in there. I'm one of the least of the developers. I'm not all that great or anything, but I love building, and hopefully a few things that I make you might enjoy, and that's why we do that. That's why we create things. I actually started out in Traveler Network creating a few things over there, and this is different. You can't get it by with it, but you got to get rid of your polys and verdes, man. If you want to get anything in to come in here, definitely want to keep in mind when you're building that you build your objects small and as possible. Not necessarily small wise, but poly wise and vert wise. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it, especially in LOD 2. LOD 2 is the worst one. That means you need to take polys and verts off, so at a long distance you don't cash in a lot. So okay, I'm getting all these messages that my tent just disappeared behind me. I just made that tent. The reason why it vanished, I have it in the developer program and it's gone. And so I might as well just go ahead and take the camp down now and go over to Gmax, because my Paz camp pot now just vanished. That was good timing. I was hoping to get my video in before they went away. Well, both of those things are in review. Thanks for all of you developers out there and people that have reviewed my cooking pot and my tent. I might as well really close up camp now, because everything's disappearing. Now my got cooler over here I designed, it's already ready to be sold, and it won't disappear. It'll stay here as long as I'm talking to you. Okay, so and let me tell you this right here though. If you want to build some great things, just watch all the videos. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube on how to do Gmax. I know that David Rocket put some out. Also, Francis 7. You can watch their videos. I'm just trying to recap on some of the things that I've learned from them. I'm from the South, so I'm hoping maybe I can slow it way down and try to relate it to you. Okay. Well, let's move from this campsite now that everything's vanishing anyway. Before I vanish, let's go ahead and get right into Gmax, shall we? Okay, here we are in Gmax now, and we have several views here in Gmax. They have a user view, front view, left view, perspective. My user view is my top view. That's the way it's set up by default, and that's the way I left it. Perspective view is going to show more detail, and it's going to show your textures and all that. That's the one I normally use. So I'm going to click on this box, and I'm going to go to the very far right bottom and click on that, and then it's going to just bring up this whole window right here. Now, in my other video, I've already showed you how to go to getting your items submitted. If you missed that video, you can go to that one to find out how to join all the LODs together and link it to the master node. Today I'm just going to touch on a few things that I've use in here, tools that are very vital in actually building something. Let's get started. How about it? Let me just bring a box out, just some kind of a box. It don't really matter what kind, because I can shrink it down if it's too big. See? Okay. Let's say I'm going to take this box and I want to cut it. Okay, so I'm going to make another box that I'm going to cut it with. And you're generally going to want to make this box about the size, but you're going to want to make it bigger or taller actually, so that whenever you hit your move button and go like a -3, I may actually, this is a pretty big box. I'm going to go -8 on that just to bring it on down a little bit there. I'm going to cut into this box about right there. Yeah, I'm not making anything in particular, but I'm just going to cut into this box. So I'm going to highlight this box because that's the one I'm going to save. And I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to move from standard primitives. That's where you find all your box and your cylinder and all that stuff when you're making something. And I'm gonna click on that and go to compound objects. Compound objects. Okay. Now I'm gonna click on Boolean. You see that icon right there? And I'm gonna drop straight down below it and I'm gonna click on a little label that says Pick Operland B. Now why they named it that I don't know. I just call it cut. I'm gonna click on that. And then I'm going to click on my green box here that does the cutting. And there it is. She's cut. That's a long cut. So I don't know, I don't know what I can make of that. If anything, probably can make a, like a stapler for a desk, right? That's an object that, a long object that would look kind of like that. Just find a texture stapler and take a picture of a stapler and on both sides and put it on there, and voila, you have a stapler for your desk. That's just one of the many items that you could do. You can go along here and grab you and go back to standard primitives and grab me a cylinder. Okay, get me a cylinder and make it kind of long like that. But I'm going to go down here before I let go of it, and I'm going to make the radius a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it like a 6. Okay. Now, I'm going to hit the rotating tool because I want to rotate this thing. I want to rotate it down, and I want to hit my X key so I can rotate Z, and so I can rotate it this way. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to click my move button and move this all the way down right up here. I'm going to raise it while the move button's still checked, and I'm going to go to the Z down here, and I'm going to, don't let me get too fast for you. I'm going to raise it to about a 8. See how far that goes. Not very far. I need twice that, so I'm going to go 18. I must have really made a big box here, because that's 18 meters right there. Okay, so I'm gonna click on that and move it kind of right over here, and I'm gonna go 22. Let's go 22 meters. Bam. I always build big and then I reduce it. It's easier to see the stuff, so that's why I do that. You can do it how you want to whenever you start building. Some people like to build real small. You can actually grab it and just kind of put it where you want it. And I'm gonna go about 25 on the height. There we go, right there. Now I'm going to click on this object because this is the one I want to keep again. All right, I'm going to go to Compound Objects, Boolean, pick O and B, and I'm going to click on that cylinder right there. Boom. All right, it didn't go all the way through, so I'm going to hit Here's the beautiful thing about it. You can always hit undo when you didn't get the desired results. And then I'm actually going to click on this, hit the move button and click on it and push that baby on in there a little bit more there, see? Yeah, bring this on out there. Now, let me rotate it and make sure I'm all the way through. I am. Alright, I'm going to click Boolean, pick on B, and whoop, I got a hole. I got a hole. Okay, there's my object, such as it is. You see me cut some holes. Now, if it was a house, you could cut a hole in the house. By the way, if you're building a house and you got a back and a front door, be sure that whenever you build the box the same size as that house for your collision, that you cut out for the two doors, and that way you can walk in and out the doors, but the rest of your outside and the roof has got a collision on it. So anyway, there you have it. There's that part of it right there. Now let's say we want to, let me bring out some more primitive objects. Let me build another box object here and attach it to that. Just like that. Like I said, I'm not building anything in particular, just putting some stuff together for you. Okay. Alright, I'm going to drop that down to about a -4. Go. Okay, let's say we built this object. It looks like a sewing machine, don't it? As a matter of fact. It does, don't it? Wait just a minute. Oh, let's do this here, man. Woohoo, yeah. I tell you what, don't get me started building and I ain't got time. I'm doing a video. Okay. Alright, we're going to put that on, rotate that on about a 90. Rotate that on about a 90. And we're going to grab this and bring this right up here to our sewing machine. And bring that up to about a 8. This is a big sewing machine. Let's go down about a 22. 22. And we could click on this and actually reduce that wheel more, like that. And then kind of bring it up close to it. Actually, I absolutely had nothing in mind building, but as you can see, it's starting to turn out to look like a sewing machine. You could actually build the cabinet for it and everything, I reckon. Okay, but here's the thing. All right, we'll just call it a sewing machine now. So we're going to grab another cylinder, and we're going to do this, but I'm going to stop right there because I want it small, and I want to come over here and tell it that I want it to be a 1 radius. All right. And the height, about 20 meters. Because you know what, we're building big right now. We're going to have to reduce it down later. Now I'm going to raise that up to about 12. Looks like I'm going to need to go about 18. Now let me get up there close to it and see what we got here. Now you need to rotate around your object. You can click on this wheel, second one from the left, and it'll bring this up where you can, if you click on the object first and do it, then you can rotate 130. You can go all the way around the object. 360. That's what I was trying to say. All right, I'm going to click on this object now again and take it to that. And it looks like I need to come way up. Let's try 26. Alright, for this instructional video, I don't need to try to get it perfect because I'm not going to try to get it in anyway, but it looks like I made a sewing machine. My dad was with the Singer sewing spit it out in a minute, Singer Sewing Machine Company for years, maybe that's why. But I'm already 14 minutes in this video, so we need to move right along here. Going to come back around to the front of this thing. Alright, like I say, it's not perfect. I don't even have everything in place. I don't even have that thing in place just right. still. Anyway, that's a thread. There's for your thread. Okay, let's say we have this already, and I showed you in another video how to apply texture, so I'm not going to even go there on this one. You look at the first video on putting in the texture. What I am going to show you here, though, is the correct way to group and connect. Now, if I want to play around with these more later, or if I think I'm going to have to maybe come back to it, I'm going to hold down my Control key and click on everything, and then I'm going to go to group and group. Okay. Another way you can do that is edit, select all, and then group. If you're going to select everything, you can go to the box and select all, and hit select and group. There's several ways to do it. But the main thing is you have everything selected, and you go to the top and hit group and group it. Now it's all one piece. You can move it around and all that kind of stuff. You can make sure it's on 0, 0, 0, which you'd have to do when you submit it. Make sure it's in the middle of the grid. Bring it down to 0. Okay, now it's still wet. There it is. It's below the grid right there. So we're going to bring it up to about what, 12. Yeah, just go to 23 on it. I mean, it's a big object. Now then, we're going to reduce the size of this thing. Yeah. The way I reduced the size was I clicked on it, and I clicked on this button up here that says Select and Uniform Scale. It looks like a little piece of paper with a red line going around it on a gray table. It turns orange when you click on it, just like these other objects turn orange when you're... Anyway, that's Select Scale, and you can do one of two things. You can click that and then kind of move around till you see that piece of paper, and then you can scale it that way by left clicking on your mouse and moving your mouse back and forth. Makes that work. Or you can go down here to this bottom box. When it's selected and that is pushed, you can go like, I'm going to go 10%. Whoop, drop it way down, okay? Okay, now let me get to it again. That's probably going to be close to about the right size there. It may still be a little big, but because it's showing to be... Oh, by the way, when you have them grouped like this, you can go ahead and save it. You know, just go to File and Save As, and go ahead and save it, because if you don't, after you've connected everything, and then you submit it to there, and you say, oh, you know what, that don't really look good, I'm going to pull it and change something. Well, you're going to need to bring that back out grouped up, because once you connect everything, leastwise I haven't found out a way or a tool inside of Gmax to unconnect them. I think it just makes it one object and you're done. So what I do is I group everything like that. And if you're a designer and you're seeing this video and you know of a way to do it, let me know. Come in there and look up Circuit Rider and let me know. Anyway, I showed you two different ways to size here, or you could actually put them in the numbers down here, certain percent. Click on it, go 5%. See, and that's still probably bigger than Avatar. Now, speaking of avatars, let's say you're building an object and you want to get it kind of pretty close to right. What I would do is I click on box, okay, and just start kind of drawing you out a little box like that, and then stop and scroll down here, and for the height you're going to want to put 2.6 for the height, or 2.5 is close enough, and then you're going to want to put 1 and 1. Okay, length and width 1, height 2.6. Now you see that little bitty thing down there? That's my avatar. That is the size of an avatar that's in world. So you see how big this sewing machine is? It's humongous, man. So yeah, it's humongous. So we could actually take this thing and chop it down some more, bring it on down, and we're going to do the let's see, just go about 10 and see what that does for it. Bring it up. Oh, it's gone now, ain't it? If you do something like that and you lose your object, I see it's way down under the grid there. Just do an undo, and I see it there now, so I could probably go ahead and bring it up. I'm glad it happened that way, because so you'll know that if you lose something, you can do an undo to get it back. Okay. And I'm going to click on this and move it over close to my avatar. Now then I've got an avatar, and I've got a sewing machine over here kind of close by it here. I'm going to do a 6 in the Z, which would bring it down a little more. I'll put that on 0, 0. And put my little avatar I made on 0, 0 here. And that'll put it right in the center of the grid. Okay? And I've got that. Now, a lot of times after you've already made the objects, it may not put it quite on the center of the grid, but looking at it now, you can see that it looks pretty close to the size of my avatar. The sewing machine does. Put it right over next to it. See, and if that was my avatar, and I was walking up to the sewing machine, I suspect that would look a little closer than the way I had it before. So, so just remember that when you're building, you can just take you a simple box and make it 2.6, 2.5, 1 by 1. But just make sure the height is 2.5 or 2.6. I think some of the avatars are a little bit taller depending on how they stretched them or whatnot. Mine's exactly 2.5. I measured myself, so I know Circuit Rider is 2.5 in the world. So by standing up next to that sewing machine, that'd be about right for me. Okay, now let's move right along to something else here. I'm going to go ahead and delete my AVI now that I've got it. I'm going to ungroup this. You just go to Group. After you've selected it, you go to Group and Ungroup. Now all the pieces are ungrouped. And I'm going to click on, I'm going to come over here where my standard primitives are, and I'm going to click on Compound Objects. Okay? And then I'm going to select one of my objects over here. I'm going to select that yellow thing right there. I'm going to get myself a little closer to this too so I can see it. Okay, I got that selected. Okay, I'm going to click Connect. It's right up above the Boolean button that we used earlier to cut things with. So don't get it mixed up. Boolean to cut, Connect to put objects together and make them one. Okay, while that is pressed, I'm going to come right down and choose Pick Operland. Now I'm just going to start clicking on these other objects, and it's going to connect them as I click. Alright, they're all connected, and I can look in this box and see that they're all connected. Okay, now I'm going to undo it and show you another way that if you have a lot of objects and you're just wanting to connect a few of them for right now, select the first object, choose Pick Operland, and bring down the list. And you can actually pick from this list. Like I'm going to pick cylinder 2, hit pick, and hit the list again and pick cylinder 1. Now I've got just about everything selected. Now if you're connecting a bunch of stuff, that's the way you're going to want to do it. If you're going to do, say you're just going to do 5 or 6 right now because you know that you've got that part completed and you don't want them moving because they're real intricate parts of something small, then you could glue all them together and then work on the other part. So that's the way you do that. And I got one piece left. Hit pick. Now they're all one unit. Now while you're here, you can go edit and undo and go back. But if you submit this thing, and add your boxes and all that and submit it, then anyway, now then you're ready. Now that you've got it all connected together, by the way, like I said, you want to make sure you put all your textures on there before you start connecting them together. So, and you'll have a box pop up when you connect it together that says, do you want to use the textures that you have on there? And you say, yeah, and then hit OK, and you can go with it. Now, I've found out that whenever you get ready to like right now, you could label this LOD 0 because that's your object, and you're done with it. You've got everything connected, so that's LOD 0. That's your first object, okay? Now then, you're going to want to go up, hit Edit, Clone. Now, when you clone this object, if your textures disappear, then you're going to want to come down and click, instead of copy, you're going to want to click reference if your textures disappear, and then label it LOD 1. I always like to use capitals, LOD 1. Alright, hit OK. Now LOD 2 is a different story. You're going to want to get rid of some of your verts and your polys on your LOD 2, because LOD 2 is the farthest distance and you don't need to see all of it. So what you're going to want to do, if you want to get it into there, you got to get rid of some of them polys. And I guarantee you I've got some on this with that wheel and everything that's on there. So matter of fact, I would about 9 sides is all I like to do on a wheel, and I made that pretty round. So anyway, you go Edit, Clone. It's going to be LOD 2, and I'm going to hit OK. Now while that's still sitting on LOD 2, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to tell Convert, go all the way down to the bottom, Convert to Editable Mesh, just like that. Click the one that looks like the 3 little red dots on the right hand side, okay? And I'm just going to highlight the whole half of this machine right here, just like that, and hit my delete key. And I took a lot of verts off right there. And see, you're seeing, you don't see it disappear because you're seeing all the LOD 0 and the LOD 1. But I can show you, while it's sitting here on LOD 2 right here, I can go to Edit, and I can just drop down, go to Tools and Isolate, okay? And now you're seeing LOD 2, just a couple of lines is all it is, so that'll float. I took off more than I really wanted to, but that would float. Now then, it's just a matter of, you've got your LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2. You're ready to make your collision box that was in the first video, and attach it to your. Well, let me just do that real quick. Kind of a recap, a quick recap. All right, we're viewing the top of it right here. Okay, we're going to move it close to the center of the grid. Let me undo that. Undo. If you're going to move some objects, what you're going to want to do first is go Edit, Select All, and that's also if you're going to resize all of them. You're going to have to resize them the same. So you select all, go to Group, okay, and then you can move the whole thing over. There's the top perspective. I moved it over right there. Okay. Now, what you want to do now is you just go down and you go ahead and go to Standard Primitives, grab you a box, and you put your box right over the top of that sewing machine. Just like that. Put your box right over the top of the sewing machine, just like that. And then click on the arrow, come back over to your helpers. It's your far right. Just kind of doing a recap. And you're going to want to click Dummy. And you're going to want to put that right in the center of this. Alright. And then you want to rename that Master, M-A-S-T-E-R. Now, the proper way you connect all this to the master node is you want to click on your list. Uh-oh, we're going to have to ungroup that first. Don't never leave anything grouped when you do this. So we're going to select that. We're going to select that. We're going to ungroup. Now then we got our LODs. And that box 1, we need to label that. Remember, that's the collision we just made. Capital C-O-L for collision. And now everything looks good. We've got our collision. We've got our LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2. We're going to want to highlight all those. Hold down the Shift key. Click on the top one, hold the Shift key, and click the bottom one. It highlights all of them. Hit Select. The box goes away. Hit the Link button. That's the one that looks like the 2 chain links. And then come straight back over and hit your drop-down list again. click master link, and that's it. You're ready to export. So you'll click on file. Now when you get ready to export, if you don't say there model exporter dot model, then you're going to have to download. You're going to have to set up the exporters for Gmax. It means you don't have them, so you'll need that. Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today on that. And you know, we're having a great day out here and there camping, and we hope that you'll just build a few. Man, if you get to build some camping stuff, man. That's what we love to do here. We love to camp and shoot each other with paintball. Build some paintball stuff too. Anyway, this is Circuit Rider signing off with this lesson. I hope that you learned something from it there. And as I learn, I'll spit out another video, I suppose, one day. Anyway, take care. Bye.